never even lived most of his life with his parents. And the US just came up with the inclusion of Nigeria on the terrorism list. Should Nigeria's name have appeared? Should our name as Nigeria should it have been included in that particular list in the first place? Going by the fact that, well, that is just one out of the so many, terrorism acts happening all over the world.
I think what I would say is, first of all, is that we consider Nigeria an important partner in many areas, and one of them is in the international effort against terrorism. We appreciate the excellent cooperation that we receive from Nigerian authorities in this area. I think what you may be referring to is following that incident that there were certain lists with airport authorities and so on of persons of interest. Nigeria is not on that list. Nigerian citizens are no longer on that list, so it's something that's in the past. I think that the focus there needs to be on moving forward to continue to look for ways to strengthen our cooperation in the anti-terrorism field. We're doing that. We'll continue to do that. So that's in short. We work closely with the Nigerian authorities. As a result of that incident, we're now moving forward in general in working with one another to develop the anti-terrorism capabilities of the Nigerian authorities, of course exchanging information. We have a constant dialogue on this matter. So.
Now, the US-Nigeria Binational Commission is said to be a strategic dialogue that is essentially to expand mutual cooperation between your government, your country, the Nigerian government, and the Nigerian state in the areas of interest that are mutual to both of you. Such areas include, if I may list out here, good governance, transparency and integrity, energy and investment, food security, and a host of others. I know that the United States has a great deal of commercial interest in Nigeria in terms of investment. But one key area that is very critical to the survival of establishment in the area of economy in any particular society is energy. And energy is listed as one of the principal areas of your relationship with Nigeria under the US-Nigeria Binational Commission. It does appear that the energy problem of Nigeria is quite elusive. What is it that the US government is doing under this Binational Commission to assist Nigeria get out of the woes of epileptic power situation it has found herself?
Well, first of all, I would compliment Nigerians themselves on taking steps to move forward and bring about reform in the power sector to increase the supply, the transmission, the distribution of power. I think that's an excellent initiative, and the Binational Commission got that, as you mentioned there, you got the working group focused on economic development and energy. There may be, of course, there'll be discussion of oil, but specifically in the area of electrical energy, of power. There are we fully support, as I say, the Nigerian government's efforts as reform. We support efforts by U.S. companies, and there are several that play a role in the power sector here in Nigeria. We are always happy to meet with U.S. companies, the business community, and discuss with them opportunities for further involvement in the power sector here in Nigeria. In short, we think that Nigeria is on the path of reform, of development of the energy sector. That's very, very positive, and we cannot give instructions to U.S. companies about what to do, but we nonetheless can encourage them, private institutions, to give full consideration to the opportunities that are developing in the energy sector of Nigeria at this time of reform.
Now, far beyond promoting global peace and international cooperation, can there be other underpinning variables why the United States has refused to leave the Middle East? You seem to be present here almost all the time. You are the Consul General in Nigeria. Most Nigerians, most watchers of international diplomacy are wondering, the US is just permanently, seemingly, in the Middle East. You want to enlighten us on this?
In the Middle East, well, we have, I would say, global concerns. We've got our concerns in Africa to promote development, peace, stability, and so on. We also have concerns in the Middle East. One of them is promoting peace between the Arabs and the Israelis. You can see we're very much involved in the efforts to resume, energize peace negotiations between the Palestinian side and the Israeli side. We've got our involvement in Iraq. We have drawn down our forces there, but we believe we will continue to maintain a strong commitment to the Iraqis in terms of developing their economy, recovering from the years of Saddam Hussein, developing their democratic institutions. So elsewhere, we've got our Arab friends that we count on to promote moderation, promote peace as well, in conjunction with our efforts, the efforts of the Palestinians and the Israelis themselves. We've got our strong relationship with Israel. That's pretty clear. So we are engaged throughout the world. We are very much engaged here in Nigeria. We're very much engaged in countries of the Middle East and elsewhere.
Now, was there any reason in the first instance for the United States-led forces to have invaded Iraq in the first instance? There were claims of nuclear weapons being amassed by Iraq, but no such evidence did open up afterwards. Was there any convincing reason for you to have invaded the place in the first instance, far beyond promoting international peace?
Oh yeah, we believe there are very convincing reasons. We can go back to the military action in 2003. You can debate this, that, and so on. I know there's controversy about it. We continue to believe that the Iraqi people are far better off without Saddam Hussein. We believe that the international community is far better off without Saddam Hussein. And we believe that the Middle East, in particular, is far better off without Saddam Hussein. So the issue now is, to my mind, is not what were the specific reasons why you took a military action. The question is where we go from here. And where we go from here is continuing to help the Iraqi government and people develop their economy, strengthen the democratic institutions, so that they can play their important role in the Middle East, promoting peace and stability, and so on. So that's the way I respond to you. Historians, I think, at the end of the day, are going to say that there were compelling reasons for what we did, we and our coalition partners, and I have no doubt they will agree that the world is far better off without Saddam Hussein.
Oh, but some political watchers also believe that far beyond the fact that America feels that Iraq is better off without Saddam Hussein, that the oil is Iraq is an oil-rich nation. That all America was interested in was the oil in that particular region. How true is that?
No, that's misses the point. It's not accurate. We do have a vital interest in securing the flow of oil worldwide from producers to consuming nations. But I can assure you the desire to control Saddam Hussein's oil was not a factor there. We recognize that he continued to pose a threat to the stability and security of that part of the world, and that's why I say the world is far better, and the region is far better off without him, because he invaded neighboring countries and had served as threatened them all the time if he wasn't invading them. So now you have a Iraqi government that is at peace with its neighbors and is promoting stability and peace in the region instead of undermining it or threatening it, resuming its status as a major oil exporter, major oil producer. We support that, but I can assure you that was not the reason for our intervention there.
Now, Your Excellency, let's take a look at one particular issue that has, well, bedeviled Africa, and that's talking about corruption. What efforts is the U.S. government taking to ensure that, well, it collaborates with some of our anti-graft agencies to ensure that, well, the public funds here in Nigeria and in Africa are not taken to the Western nations for their development?
Corruption is a problem worldwide. As you mentioned, that was my job in Iraq, to work with the Iraqis to build a strong anti-corruption system. We got a problem, corruption in the United States. The point is that you've got institutions, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, the ICPS as well, that have the specific mission of combating corruption. We've got cooperation, particularly with them. We got training. I think we got some training right now going on in Abuja that involves officials of the EFCC as well as other law enforcement agencies in Nigeria. We will continue that because we recognize the importance, as elsewhere, of having a strong regime to combat corruption. I've read about, since I've been here, the 3 months, the convictions from time to time of officials. There have been convictions of officials in the past for corruption-related crimes. So it's an issue worldwide. I note the concerns here in Nigeria about corruption. There's always a question of what can be done to further strengthen the anti-corruption system. New laws, stronger laws, developing the capacity of the anti-corruption institutions. The judiciary obviously has a crucial role to play, and in terms of enforcement. There's also the question of transparency, what can be done to increase transparency of governmental operations, how it spends its money. Nigeria is associated with the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, EITI, whose specific purpose is to promote transparency in the way oil resources are used by oil-producing countries. So that's positive. It's a member of that international initiative. So in a number of ways, my impression is that Nigeria, the Nigerian government, and its people are demonstrating a commitment to developing the sort of strong, effective anti-corruption regime that will be successful in tackling abuses of this type.
Well, as an expert on corruption issues, do you think plea bargaining is a very good idea or a very good mode of getting back what has been stolen from the public?
I have to tell you, I think I would probably defer to people more expert than I am in this area. All I would say is that we have, as you may know, have used plea bargaining in our system of justice. And someone may correct me, but I believe plea bargaining is also a factor in corruption cases, has been a factor in corruption cases in the United States. So it's again, I would defer to others who are more expert, but it seems to me, as a non-expert, that a case can be made that plea bargaining gives the authorities the flexibility in prosecuting corruption cases and going after, particularly those at the top that are involved in corruption, going to people at lower levels and getting them to cooperate through plea bargaining could be an effective strategy.
Sure.
The program is Stay Hot Seat on Gateway Television in Abeokuta here, and our guest is no other than His Excellency, the Consul General of the United States in Nigeria, Mr. Joseph D. Stafford, who got assigned as the Consul General in the Federal Republic of Nigeria in the month of August 2010. Together with him, we are taking a look at a number of issues that bother on the international diplomatic arena and all such issues that can promote international peace and international cooperation. The program is soon to come to an end. Your Excellency, first it was the 9/11 attack.